There is a fascinating truth about human psychology that sounds entirely backward. The people who claim they want love the most are often the ones who will systematically destroy it the moment they get it. Think about a time everything was going perfectly. You met someone incredible. They were consistent, they were attractive, and they genuinely cared about you. For a few weeks it felt amazing, but then the shift happened. They used the word we instead of I, or maybe they just looked at you with a little too much vulnerability. Instantly, an interesting thing happened inside your brain. A switch flipped. That warm feeling evaporated, replaced by a cold, suffocating wave of disgust. Pop culture calls this getting the ick. You start finding flaws in their appearance, their laugh, or the way they text. You tell yourself they're too needy and that you just value your independence. It is not the ick, it is a self-defense mechanism. You are deactivating. The uncomfortable reality is this. You aren't running away because you don't care. You are running because your brain possesses a deeply hidden architecture that views closeness as a threat to your physical survival. This is the dismissive avoidant attachment style. It is an emotional fortress built on a foundation of childhood hyper-independence. And if you are the one living inside this fortress, you are trapped in a loop of wanting connection but sabotaging it the moment it feels real. Today, we are uncovering the fascinating truth behind your need to escape. We're going to dissect the secret psychological triggers that cause you to pull away, why you are magnetically drawn to people you can never fully have, and the exact advanced blueprint to dismantle the fortress, so you can finally build a secure relationship without losing your freedom. Part 1. Deactivating Strategies, the Sabotage Protocol. To understand the dismissive avoidant, we have to understand your primary defense mechanism, deactivating strategies. When an anxiously attached person feels threatened, they cling. When you feel threatened by too much closeness, your brain initiates a protocol designed to create distance. Deactivating strategies are the subconscious mental tricks you use to justify pulling away. Here's what they look like in action. The flaw-finding mission. You hyper-focus on minor imperfections. They aren't ambitious enough. They wear the wrong shoes. They text too much. You convince yourself you are just settling, which gives you a logical excuse to leave. The Phantom X. You idolize a past partner, usually one you are no longer with and can't have, by keeping a perfect, untouchable ghost on a pedestal. No real, living human being sitting in front of you can ever measure up. It keeps you perfectly safe from having to commit. The Independence Shield. You prioritize self-reliance to an extreme. You tell yourself, I don't need anyone. I am fine on my own. But here is the irony. Psychological studies, including measuring the heart rates and cortisol levels of avoidance during conflict, show that underneath that cool, detached exterior, your nervous system is actually experiencing immense stress. You aren't unfeeling. You are just heavily armored. Part 2. The Origin Story. The Hyper-Independent Child. Where does this armor come from? The dismissive avoidance style is usually born in an environment where emotional needs were consistently rejected or ignored. Maybe your caregivers were practical, providing food and shelter, but they lacked emotional warmth. If you cried, you were told to tough it out. If you were scared, you were left alone to deal with it. Or perhaps you had to grow up too fast, taking care of yourself or even your parents at a young age. As a child, you learned a very painful but highly adaptive lesson. Reaching out for comfort doesn't work. It only leads to disappointment or rejection. So your brilliant, adaptable brain did the only thing it could to protect you. It turned off your attachment system. It built a fortress. You learned to suppress your emotional needs so deeply that as an adult, you don't even realize you have them. Intimacy requires you to lower the drawbridge. And to your subconscious mind, lowering the drawbridge means letting the enemy inside. Part 3. The Blueprint to Earned Secure. The tragedy of the avoidant is that deep down, you actually want connection. You just want it at a safe distance. But you don't have to live your life behind a wall. You can develop what psychologists call an earned secure attachment. Here is the 3-step blueprint for the avoidant mind. 1. Identify the deactivation trigger. The next time you suddenly lose interest in someone, stop and look at the context. Did they just express vulnerability? Did things just get serious? Recognize that your sudden disgust or ick is not an objective truth about them. It is your nervous system hitting the panic button. Label the feeling. I am not actually disgusted. I am just feeling overwhelmed by intimacy. 2. Communicate the need for space. Don't ghost. Avoidants need space to regulate their emotions. That is perfectly okay. The damage happens when you disappear without warning. Instead of ghosting or picking a fight to create distance, use a script. I really care about you, but I am feeling a little overwhelmed right now, and I need a night to myself to decompress. I'll text you tomorrow. This honors your need for space while keeping the bridge intact. 3. Deconstruct the Phantom X. If you find yourself comparing a new partner to a past love, you need to ruthlessly examine the reality of that past relationship. Why did it end? What were their actual flaws? Force yourself to take the ghost off the pedestal. Realize that your brain is using a fantasy to protect you from the messy, beautiful reality of a real human being. Strength and vulnerability. Being hyper-independent doesn't make you strong. It makes you isolated. True strength isn't never needing anyone. True strength is having the courage to let someone see you, rely on them, and risk the possibility that they might stick around. You survived your childhood by building a fortress, but you are an adult now. You don't need the fortress anymore. If this breakdown helped you understand yourself or your partner, hit the like button and subscribe. In the next video, we're going to explore the most complex attachment style of all, the fearful avoidant. Take a deep breath. It's safe to let your guard down. I'll see you in the next one.